Just a disclaimer, if as we talk about like the stages of labour and my birth plan, there may be some stuff in here that you might not like. So turn off the video.
Breezy, what's happening? Is that baby sister? Yeah, can you hear her? Can you?
Baby's finally turned around, so Breeze didn't want to turn around. I think she turned around what, week 37?
Yeah.
Because we forced her to turn around. But apparently baby's in a good position, so her limbs are out here, her bum's up here, her back is along here, and her head is down there.
Yay.
So apparently the midwife said that's a really good position at the moment. And on Tuesday, what did we do? We had a hospital tour of the delivery suites. Yeah, and that was pretty good. I got to
Thanks, baby.
get the orientation of what the room layout would be like.
Ooh, that's cool.
Go and give birth. But anyway, as for the birth plan that we discussed, we were given a sheet of paper, and it was about the different stages of labour. Yeah.
Pre-labour. Uterus is having practice contractions. Braxton Hicks in brackets, so that's what they are.
Yeah.
It can happen for an hour or so, days or even weeks before true labour starts. Yeah. Baby continues to move in a normal pattern, trying to get itself into the optimal position for labour. Fun times.
We got our
It says the cervix is starting to thin out. Normal discharge, potentially mixed with mucus and bloody show. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Normal activities. Try and ignore if possible.
That's
Eat
rather
and
difficult.
hydrate well.
Telling you that right now.
Oh, come on, you can ignore that shit. Take the pain, woman, take the pain.
Suck it up, you reckon?
Suck it up, buttercup. Alright, okay. I need a drink. So preferably stronger than Coke once we get to this stage. Now we're on to early latent labour. So this is the latency
so that's
phase.
the part where
Yeah.
it actually was quite
It's last time with Breeze it was
about 24 hours or so away.
Yeah, it was quite a long
It
time for you.
lasted 24
But
hours
it sort of
for me.
started and stopped a few times.
Yeah, so what do they call it? OP or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
I can't even remember what that actually stands for, but anyway.
It says
Later,
that
stops and starts.
uterus is uterus is contracting irregularly, whatever that word is. Contractions last from 20 to 30 seconds, can last for up to 48 hours before moving into active labour.
Apparently it'll be like, instead of me having to deal with latency phase for 24 hours, it'll be half that, so only about 12 hours worth of that stuff.
It says, okay, so it just says a baby's movement should be the same as normal. So if she's kicking the shit out of you, she'll continue to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, fun times. She already is.
Your cervix is beginning to thin out and begins to dilate 0 to 3 centimeters. Loose bowels. Oh my gosh, loose bowel motions. Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay, let's not even go there.
Yeah, should we tell that story? Oh no, maybe we should. Yeah, nah. Yeah, so it says basically that loose bowel motions are common, as we know, as the body is trying to make room in the pelvis. So basically it's cleaning out its shit, getting rid of its shit. Getting its shit wide tight. Alright, let's move on. Okay. It tells you to rest and relax during the daytime and sleep
as much
at night
as possible.
It says that a wheat pack can be nice.
Yes, actually no, I
Eat
didn't
and
have a wheat
hydrate
pack
well.
that time.
It says eat and hydrate well during this stage.
Yeah, well I think I've been practicing hydration this time round than I had
So that's your
the first
latency
time.
phase. So we're kind of hoping it'll be no more than 12 hours. Alright, so now we're moving on to active established labour. Oh my god. Okay, this is where it starts getting serious. It says contractions are strong, regular and increasing in intensity. It says to call the midwife when the contractions are 3 to 5 minutes apart and lasting between 60 and 90 seconds for the last hour. This stage can last up to 14 hours.
Ooh.
Hey. From memory, this stage that we're talking about here sort of started with you and Breeze
Yeah.
in maybe early evening, so they're right, early evening of the Wednesday night before Breeze was born. And
it
went
started
on
Tuesday morning.
went on for hours, man. Like hours, maybe 12 hours before your waters broke and you actually got onto the serious business.
Yeah.
And it was hours of these contractions that are coming every so many minutes,
but
and
it
just
got,
building up.
It built up more.
I don't know how many hours you had of them, but 14 hours easily, probably.
Yeah. Well, the whole labour process.
It says baby is getting
23.
moved down into the pelvis more. Belly, back can start to ache.
Yes.
Sometimes some pain in legs as well.
Oh yes, I had that.
It says the cervix is now really thin and 3 to 7 centimeters dilated.
Yes.
Membrane / water usually breaks at this point with the extra pressure. Active position, swaying, massage, shower with rest in between. Hydrate well and snack if you feel like it.
I didn't really
So basically,
feel
they're saying there at this stage.
Basically, I
that
just
you can
really
sway. You can sway. You can use massaging.
Which is what
you
I'll
can have a
probably
shower
use
to
this
relax,
time,
I guess.
Is massage
and then with some rest
essential oils.
between. And then it's still telling you to hydrate, but this time it's instead of feeding out hard, it's saying just to snack for that stage. Okay, and then we're in transition, and I imagine that's the point at where the baby comes.
Yeah.
It says cervix is 7 to 10 centimeters dilated. Contractions are very regular, with almost no break. Very intense feeling. Normally the shortest stage. This is the shortest stage of labour. Once fully dilated, pushing baby out can take up to 2 hours, which is true.
True, that is so true.
That's pretty much what happened with you.
Yeah.
Baby is well down the pelvis. Can feel like a lot of pressure in the front above the pubic bone, and feeling the need to pass a bowel motion. So basically you want to take a shit or a piss. You'll feel like you want to do that all the time. It says cervix in dilating the last part from 7 to 10 centimeters. Once fully dilated, baby will descend with each contraction, and you will instinctively need to push. Whenever you feel comfortable, active positions are good. Hydrate well. Not long to go now. So your first stage is that you're going to go through is your pre-labor, which is basically just Braxton Hicks.
Yeah.
Could start in the well. You probably already got them really.
I don't think I've actually felt them yet.
They reckon that'll start in the next few weeks.
Because I haven't actually felt them yet.
And then you've got early latency phase.
Yeah.
Which is that thing where it kicks in and you get some contractions and then it stops for a bit and then it starts again. And then you've got your active established labour. So that's the stage where it's about 14 hours and the contractions just gradually build in number and intensity. And then you're getting into your transition phase, which is the last 2 or so hours where the baby, gets pushed out. When you push your baby out.
Yeah.
That's the horrible hours, those last 2.
Fun times.
And then down the bottom of the sheet, it's just talking about warning signs that, if you're... so basically any heavy bleeding, trickling down the legs.
So it'll be like...
any
period.
stains on clothing or stains on sheets, like blood or anything.
Yeah. So those are signs that aren't good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shouldn't happen, but can.
Yeah. If your water breaks for 37 weeks gestation or at any point
Yes.
If there's a green or a brown.
So that was those two colours
that's
on
right.
the
If it's green or brown,
stick.
that you have to kind of greeny brown or green.
So
you have to contact
a green tinge.
Yeah, and then basically the colours that are acceptable are straw clear or pink. So you know what a straw looks like, a clear straw, which is pink, or clear, right? In colour, that's all good.
But if it's
normal.
a green,
after 37 weeks, let midwife know during, day or
yes, of course,
daylight hours. Sudden severe pain that won't go away, unlike contractions which come in waves. So any pain that's continuous, you got to talk to your midwife about that. Contractions are coming very frequently with no gaps in between. Well, basically that means you're pretty much ready to drop a baby. Baby movements haven't been as active as normal. Obviously you would need. And most importantly, it says if you are concerned about anything or want constant midwife support, contact them. So that's
pretty much just an A4 sheet of
instructions.
Instructions just to give us a fair idea of what's going to happen before I end up before I go to hospital. Yeah,
we'll be heading off to hospital with you. Once the contractions get to within 5 minutes between them, we'll be heading to hospital.
So as for the birth plan, so after all of this stuff, we will be getting, because we will have Reese, we have a plan of Reese going to her auntie's and my mum and Craig will be with me at the hospital this time, and along with, I guess, 2 midwives, isn't it?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah.
We may even have a training midwife.
One midwife. Sorry, 1 midwife and a training midwife, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah. We've been asked if we're okay to have a trainee sit in, and we're okay with that. So.
Yeah.
After all, this is not our first rodeo. We've been there, done this before. Not that it's going to be any easier.
No.
Hey, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm not the one pushing it out.
I should think so. What are you talking about? So anyway, as for the
I have a clue.
As for the birth plan, we've made it to the hospital either via my mum, Craig's sister, or I guess an ambulance.
Hopefully,
if no one's
it's
available,
definitely
but
not
hopefully
an ambulance this time.
Yeah, no.
We've done enough ambo trips for now.
Yes.
Don't want any more.
No, try not to make a habit of it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So once we get there, they'll put me into a room. I will be. What did she say?
Oh no, they're gonna. This time around,
this time they're going to put an IV line into me before
things get serious.
Things get serious. So they're going to be doing a lot of preparation
in case something
happens.
Doesn't quite work.
Due to my first pregnancy, when they tried to put an IV line in, it was practically too late because all my veins decided to just.
Yeah, but you'd already had a bleed by that stage, and so they couldn't easily establish.
So this time, the reason I'm going to hospital is so that they can prevent the bleed
from
happening before it happens. So I will be getting an IV line in early, and then there was something else. This time I am going to have gas on standby.
Yeah.
And again, other than that, I am not going to have any pain relief.
No.
No epidural, which I have already tried, but I had to because of my surgery.
But the main difference is this time after after baby is delivered, they will inject you to help your body
once baby
flush out the placenta.
So they injected me last time, but by that time it was too late. I think the waiting time was just a bit too long. So instead of waiting, as soon as baby's out, they're just going to inject me.
But I think the injection is partly to prevent your body from to help your to help your body clot a lot quicker. I think
a lot quicker
so
before
that it doesn't bleed out so severely.
Yeah, and also to help me, because by that time I'm, depending on how much energy I have, will depend on whether I can push the thing out, the placenta out after baby or not.
Yeah.
So that would also help me as well.
Apparently it's meant to detach and just fall out naturally anyway, but...
Which it does do the job, but last time what
happened is that it came out, but part of it was left in
and it was only like really micro bits.
But the body was trying to purge it and get rid of it because it was trying.
It's just trying to do it naturally,
and that's where you ran into difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then when baby is born and the placenta is out, I am going to do another lotus birth. So instead of cord clamping, the placenta will stay attached to baby.
Yeah.
And we will treat the placenta on a daily until it falls off by itself. So that takes about maybe anywhere between 3 and 10 days, and for Breeze it was about 4 days. And to cure it and look after it, you just use like all your herbs, any kind of herbs, whether it's lavender, which is what I'll be using again this time, and just rock salt and any of those kind of salts, and it usually just dries it out and keeps it pretty clean and odorless. All you smell is the herbs that you've just packed into it. So I'll be doing that, and also after that I will also be doing skin to skin with baby, so that should be good. And we will be giving baby what's that vitamin? Is it vitamin K?
Vitamin K.
Vitamin K. I couldn't remember whether we did that last time with Breeze, but just to be on the safe side, we want to give her vitamin K, baby vitamin K, and that's just for
it's to preventing blood loss, because babies can have quite a bit of blood loss and stuff. Apparently things can happen in the early stages.
Yeah.
I guess around the fact that we're having a lotus birth, that's probably a good idea.
But not only that, it's just the fact that with my hemorrhage last time, I might as well just go with the full.
It's an optional thing.
It is optional. It is
a thing that we could change our mind on.
Yeah,
but probably
just for peace of mind, and making sure that everything goes smoothly at the birth. And to also maybe look after baby at the same time as well as myself. Go away, fly.
And we have if something doesn't quite go right and they need to
if something doesn't go right,
cut the cord and remove the placenta, then she's asked me whether I want to do it.
Yeah, no.
And I said that I would, but I'm hoping I don't.
Hopefully we don't have to, because it was a really cool experience for me having a lotus birth, and it was completely different for you.
Yeah.
But at least this time you'll know how to hold a bag and a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. But that's pretty much it. And then so once baby's born, and if all goes well, I guess I'll be spending maybe a night.
Or so. I think they said that we might spend 4 hours in the hospital. If
everything goes well,
then they would move us to birth care.
And I would go to
the birth care centre.
The birth care centre in Waterford, which is really
nice place. And then after that we would probably spend a night for a couple of nights. Then we would go home.
And then go home from there. So
so that's the plan.
Fingers crossed all goes well. But that's.
This time I'll definitely make sure I've got a bag packed.
Yes, make sure you've got a bag packed. And we will start having our bags packed around 37 weeks, so that's only about 3 weeks away.
Yep.
And we might just do a little video on what we're going to take what we take in a bag
Yep.
for hospital.
Yep.
Because it was fun times. You spent like 5 days in the same clothes.
I did. I spent 5 days in the same bloody
and
clothes.
I told you to pack a bag. So yeah, not long to go now. But should be all good. But if what did you say? Something about the weight of baby. So if baby's a bit bigger than Breeze was, baby may decide to stay
And a bit longer.
a bit longer. Might decide to cook a bit longer. And so if I'm about 41 weeks,
They'll induce
I
you.
will be induced. Because then it's
But you ain't gonna make 40
But
41
I
weeks. No
don't
way.
think I'm going to
No.
make it that long. I would like baby out, sooner.
I reckon about 30, 38,
39.
39 weeks.
Yeah.
I reckon. I'm hoping.
So yeah, that's us. For Breeze's birth, of course, I had JJ, my guide dog, with me at my home birth, and that was a really cool experience. And she seemed so chill and so calm through the whole process until I hemorrhaged and she came for a ride in the ambulance with us. She was quite anxious until we got to the other end, and I guess when I came to, she calmed down. But it was a really cool experience. But this time she won't be with me in hospital. I did think about that, but yeah, it'll just be me and Craig and my mum. But I will explain why JJ will not be at my birth this time in another video.
Yeah.
Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one.